no, no. That's that the Veyron, his Veyron that he's got, and
What is it?
he's built. He's got a Veyron now that he's. I think it was a repossessed finance one. There's not loads wrong with it, but there was a little fix on something. I saw that it was a little fuse that effectively had blown and would stop it working. So he fixed a £1 million hypercar with a probably a 20p fuse from Halfords. He's not totally done it yet, but it's interesting. That's an area of my knowledge that I don't know loads about. I'm terrible mechanically. Don't ever ask me to fix your car because I just couldn't. I'm that person to go and give it to someone else and just let them sort it. But
We should do something. We should go and see if we can rescue a vehicle and bring it home and test ourselves, because I'm not mechanically minded per se, but I can wield a spanner quite well. I've done engine changes and gearbox changes on various things, and so I think I know my way around. But at what era does that stop being useful knowledge?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So many settings I couldn't imagine. Imagine with adaptive suspension now, even changing a shock and spring. Do you know where I'm coming from? It's
Yeah.
something that I did do on my old Vauxhall Cavalier. All right, I think I've said this before. I cut the springs off with an angle grinder because it didn't have spring clamps. But you then go into the electronics of the adaptive suspension and stuff like that, and it's just a whole different level of complication that I wouldn't even dare. I wouldn't even dare take the blasted wheel off me.
Yeah. I'm going to guess you were taking the springs out of your you say your Cavalier. You were putting lowering springs on, weren't you?
In one. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're so max
sad.
power.
No, absolutely. What a magazine that was as well, by the way. I used to love Max Power. Never had anything cool enough to be anywhere near that magazine. But interestingly, you don't see loads of people modifying cars that much nowadays. I think, I don't know whether it's just my area of Liverpool that that's probably fell away a fair bit. Do you see much modded stuff around your way anymore, Simon?
No, I mean you'll get the decatted no back box diesels where they're chucking smoke out the back and they've got the ECU tune, but it all comes back to that fact. In that peak era, in that max power area, which was what, mid 90s to the 2000s, that was in the area where there was the culture of being able to modify your vehicles, and the ability to modify your vehicles was there. There was nothing really complicated. Yeah, there was ECUs, but you could get around them. But that whole ability to not just repair but modify your vehicle was rife, and then it's been taken away from us by somewhat the legislation, somewhat the manufacturers locking things down. So I don't think there isn't the ability to do that. And then it becomes cyclical, doesn't it? Because as soon as the ability loses, then you lose the culture, and then there isn't the market for them to provide the parts. So
it just dies a slow death. I remember one. Sure, it was a VR6 Golf, and someone had stuck another VR6 engine in the boot where the back seats were as well to power the rear wheels, and the one at the front powered the front wheels. So we had an engine front and back and sat with two seats in the middle.
Wow.
Results.
Yeah. Animal, I think that would be.
Yes, that was a bit of a beast. But I used to get that magazine every single month as well, Max Power.
Yeah.
Yes, lowering springs. You read me like a book, Simon. Absolutely. Not now. I'm an old man driving a Volvo.
Yes. And I've got no retort on that. You've made your own cul-de-sac with that one.
Summed it up. I'm not embarrassed of it. I don't know. I'm sort of past that era of just chasing speed. I like my motors. I'd like to, I'd love to go around the motor show and have a little look around them. But honestly, I think I've probably driven too much in my time and spent too much time in the car to then love the things. But we've talked about that. I need to reinvestigate my love for driving. Need to go off and do some interesting stuff, me and you, Simon.
Yeah, we've got some ideas, so we'll follow through on those, and definitely. Right, before we close, I was digging through a cupboard the other day and discovered something that I haven't looked upon for a while. Now I'll show you the cover, but then I'll explain it for the listeners at home.
Yeah. Okay, world's best motoring jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
World's best motoring jokes. This is a book I've had for a while. Now, I thought, this would be a fun thing to start reading out. And then I remembered that I've had this for a while, and the publication date was 1991. The world has changed a little bit since 1991.
Just a touch. Be careful of what you read out. We've got to be quite good on that level, Simon. Absolutely. Nothing that you shouldn't do.
I got to page 34 before I found something that I was comfortable in reading out.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm going to read you a joke just because it's on topic and actually it's relevant. So it says, a friend of mine has invented a new kind of electric car. It's very economical. You can drive from London to Glasgow for £2. There's only one drawback. The extension lead costs £4,000.
Like it. Like it. They didn't really foresee what was coming, 30 odd years later, did they?
No, they didn't. 1991, I didn't that. But I will finish off. I did start doing these at the start of the podcast, and as we're now moving into our second year, I'm going to carry this tradition on of reading you a bit of trivia.
Good.
Didn't you say one of your family members, was it a nephew, had got an Elan?
Yes, one of my sister's kids. Yep. Yes, lovely blue thing. Yep.
So this is you'll be able to replay this at dinner parties and be the most boring.
Oh, sorry, a lease, not an Elan.
A lease, right?
Yeah.
So all right, so the Elan then. So this is of the same vein. That was released in 1989. One of the internal briefs during development of the Lotus Elan was that 90% of people should be able to drive it at 90% of its capability for 90% of the time. That was one of the design briefs.
Wow. I don't think you could do that for many cars. Go on, that's just blown my mind.
Yeah.
Go on, Simon, what were you going to say?
No, I think exactly. When we're talking today about, me driving around with a 380 horsepower Q6 where I don't think the throttle pedal's seen the carpet for more than a second. That was what they intended. So 90% of the time you should be able to drive it, and 90% of the people, so in terms of skill set, should be able to drive it.
Madness. They were great handling little cars, though. The Elans. Yeah, they really were. But just, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even it just shows you how far we have come. I always, lusted after an Escort Cosworth, and the car that I've just got rid of, my Focus ST, had more power than that Escort Cosworth. It was quicker. Absolutely bizarre. And I was teaching novice drivers in that thing. Just shows how far we've come. But the technology is keeping us a little safer. That's been an interesting little discussion on that one tonight, Simon. I really enjoyed that. It was a good little topic to delve into. Happy.
Yeah. Good. As always, keep in touch with us via our new email address at hello@thesmartdrivepodcast.co.uk. Leave your reviews, leave your comments, and I think we've prompted a couple of times some questions that you can comment and we will respond appropriately. It's nice to have feedback like that, and let's keep viewers and listeners happy.
I'll second that. Brilliant. Thank you as always, Simon, for doing the prep work. I'm sorry I've been absolutely no help over the last little bit. Bit more involved now. Ashley's back.
It's all good. Thank you for this evening, Ash, and we'll speak to you soon.
Keep safe, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.